A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Thursday edition of the show. Promises to be exciting as always. From the city of Lagos, right here in Nigeria, I'm Yemi Adebayo.
You know, it's always an exciting, action-packed world of sports. Good to have you join us in London. I'm Austin Okonakpan.
What else as usual, in our fast-paced, money-spinning, very busy world of sports, there's a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking about table tennis on the show today. Heartwarming news, a Nigerian has been elected into the world body. We will talk about that on the show. We will also talk about the longest competition that has been over 52 years. Asoju about table tennis competition. We'll talk about it on the show as we speak. Matches currently going on in the Europa League. Celtic has crashed out of the Europa League after losing to Bayer Leverkusen. Then, of course, we'll talk about Diego Maradona a year after. What are the things people are doing to remember him, to celebrate his life, even in death, all right? And, of course, we'll also talk about the Winter Olympics, what Beijing is doing as the 100-day countdown begins.
Awesome, Yemi. That's about what we'll be talking about tonight on the show. You read it out brilliantly. I'm looking forward to that one where Nigeria beginning to make, a loud voice, passing a strong message in international table tennis administration. First, it was Anyton Waido being elected vice president, and then some other guys joining in. And that tells you, Yemi, the amount of work table tennis has been doing back home. It is that work that is now being seen outside the country. That little light that they're shining back home in Nigeria is having a big impact worldwide. I just hope that other sporting federations will do the same, because there's no way you'll be rubbing body with policymakers internationally that you will not learn one or two things to bring back home to effect change. So I'm super excited about our table tennis news. Don't also forget that our players are right there in the United States of America, Houston to be precise, competing at the ITTF ones. But what a story. This man, Waido Oshodi, if you're talking about the development of table tennis in Nigeria in the last 7, 8, 9 years, this man's name will pop up. And it didn't just stop. Right after he stopped being Commissioner of Sports in Lagos, at that time he was also NTTF president. When he passed the baton over to Ishaku Tikon, he went to Africa, made huge impact in Africa. Now he's gone to the world stage. I'm super proud of you, Anyton Waido. This is what we talk about when we say you should represent Nigeria the right way. And you could tell, we're seeing it already. Competitions after competitions in table tennis in Nigeria. Athletes being discovered every now and then. The grassroots is bubbling, the schools. I doff my hats tonight for that guy.
Yeah. Well, without repeating everything you've said, one of the things that have impressed me about Anyton Waido is the place of honor his name occupies. You have people who have been presidents of leaders of association. Once they leave, nobody really talks about them, or even when they talk about them, they're trying to drag their name in the mud. But in his own case, it's not like that. He occupies a place of honor. They want to do things, they go to him. They want to normalize things, reconciliation, and all that. His name is always mentioned. And of course, the giant strides that Nigeria has seen in table tennis. You can't talk about any of those things without mentioning his name. All right, Austin, we're not going to be the only ones talking about all of these issues on the show tonight. Bolu Omoni joins us tonight as we take a look at all of these things. Bolu, greetings to you. Thanks for finding out time to be with us this lovely Thursday evening.
Good to be here again. And there's no better way to start the show than talk about Anyton show. This is a definition of one thing Austin likes to say all the time is you walk the talk and not just talk the talk. And the definition of that is Anyton Shodi. Even like Riley said, when he stopped being anything in table tennis in Nigeria, I don't think any table tennis athletes in this country will not know that name Anyton Shodi. I saw a clip where a table tennis competition, the governor was sitting down. One of the table tennis players left the governor to go and hug and applaud Anyton Shodi. It means his impact is felt, and now he's gone beyond the confines of Nigeria. He's gone beyond the shores of Africa. Now he's the vice president. Yes, he's not the first Nigerian to. Shegun George was the vice president in 2004 or 6 or whatever, but that's years ago. What he is doing in Nigeria, they are hearing, because if I'm sponsoring an event, definitely the world body will keep knowing about and hearing this. Oh, let's see what he can do. He got to Africa. It's not a big deal he got to Africa. It's not a big deal. I won't be surprised if someday in Tonsho becomes the president of ITTF. It means impact would always speak for you. You don't have to. That's what we saw there. You don't have to be maybe a federation president or anything to make impact to work. If you work, your work will definitely speak for you. So congratulations to Wellington Waido Shodi. And Tottenham Hotspur lost their conference game to Mura.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that later. But let's continue in that line of thought. Still talking about table tennis. We can spend the whole day talking about Waida Eniton Oshodi, and we're going to resist the temptation to do just that. But then again, just like Austin said, I think it's just something that should be copied across board. When you do the right things, people will celebrate you, and your achievements will speak for itself.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here talking about the giant strides of Eniton Oshodi in table tennis, all now showing with his election into the world body as the vice president.
Yeah, and the good thing is, with his leadership style, it's not just about him. He has passed it on properly. Olabanji Oladapo used to be the former, I think, sec-chair of the entity, but right now is the Secretary General of the Nigeria Olympic Committee. He was also re-elected into the ITTF Board of Directors. You know, and when you get in a re-election, that's a vote of confidence. I mean, persons like what you've been doing. Also, the current president of the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation, Engineer Ishaku Tikon, was also appointed into the veteran and para commissions of ITTF. So you've got Nigerians occupying vital positions in international table tennis. That tells you why we're getting the level of the amount of success we're having with table tennis back home. And I just hope that this will spur them to do more, sustain the momentum, and keep winning.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the results of the election, it was a landslide. 136 votes cast. He scored 116. I mean, it's huge, massive statement of, you know, so that victory is massive and it's huge. And hopefully that won't be the end. Like Bolu has said, I mean, he keeps pushing the barriers. Who knows? Maybe one day he will, you know, become the president of the world body. I mean, impossible is nothing, like they say.
Yeah, we'll wait. We'll see. He's got an admirable passion for the sport and what he has achieved so far. I mean, I don't put that, you know, past him, but I just want it to continue to, you know, let that effect come back home, you know, and let's keep winning with our table tennis.
All right, let me pass the baton to you, and we're all going to discuss the next thing. Asoju Table Tennis Championship is our next port of call, and that is also that gets us delighted anytime we have the opportunity to talk about it.
Yeah, the Asoju Table Tennis Championship, we cannot, you know, stop talking about this competition, 53rd edition, Yemi. And look, when you take a look at the talents this competition has produced, you know, the stars that's come out of this. And I love the fact that even when the vision are passed on, the family still continued. And that's legacy right there, you know. And every year they get innovative, you know. Look at the trophy, for instance. And this is a competition that was set up in December. They're already set. They've done the unveiling. And then players are looking forward to it. Bolu, this is what we're talking about, that sometimes we shouldn't just leave it to just federation. Individuals, private organizations can also step in and then we'll achieve success.
Well, I don't think you can talk about 1, 2 table tennis competitions or events in Nigeria bigger than the Asoju Cup. And what we've seen in a very long time is many competitions, events, programs that come up, they die natural death. But the Asoju Cup is probably the most consistent tournament or cup, whichever one you choose, in this country. Year in, year out, COVID, no, they find ways to make sure this is consistent. There has been different numbers, but this event is still continuous. Like you rightly said, organizers are not federation board members. Organizers are not presidents of federations, but they kept to the consistency, and there have been lots of athletes, lots of table tennis players out of this event. It means as a table tennis player, as a young person, I'll be thinking to myself, okay, if I miss out in this event, maybe the federation's program, there's actually a backup where I can also fight for. Not that when you miss out from maybe the ITTF or the Nigeria table tennis, I'm out of the competition. This is what we talk about. Private sectors, different individuals getting involved in sports. Sometimes if the federations are not ready, we could be the ones to push these guys, and that's exactly what the Asoju Cup has done. Before I was born, they've been doing this event. I'm definitely sure when I'm gone, this competition will still continue. It shows consistency. 53rd edition is no joke. 53rd edition is not beans, and I wish them all the best. And who knows, 100 edition, 200, 300, that is what we want. And I hope the next best table tennis stars will come out of this competition.
Totally agree with you. 53rd edition, that's massive right there, you know. And we just want to say well done to everyone involved in this. Let's listen to the sponsors. They're talking about this competition. We're looking forward to it because it has produced stars from Olajide Omotayo to Taiwo Martin to Emmanuel Augustine, name it, Rashidat, all these stars homegrown from the Asoju Table Tennis Championship.
So we've sat down with the Table Tennis Association, and we're having an abridged version of the competition. Usually we have 24 titles being contested for, but this year we're going to have 9 that are being contested for. We need to control the crowd of players that will be coming to the venue and the fans as well, so that we don't have the situation that the competition will be responsible for any outbreak of the COVID-19. Right. Believe me, when we took over this competition, I think the first time we had this competition, now this will probably be about the 7th year we've been running the competition since the demise of our late father. Everything has been as it has always been. We've had the full retinue of the competition, but we must be responsible. We must be responsible. We owe it a duty to make sure, most especially in a situation whereby, to the glory of God, I am vaccinated fully, but the vaccination is not at the level where we can become too comfortable that well, let's get the crowd in here. So we have to be extremely responsible. And I can tell you that my prayer is that we would have passed through this by this time next year, so we can go back to the way it is. Because we look forward to rewarding the younger talents that come through. The most valuable player most times are the junior ones, the cadets. That's where we get the most valuable players. So we know the value of catching them young. And I think we look...
In terms of the game, we are going to have an entertaining time at the tournament. If you had come to the last NTTF tournament held in Lagos, you would see the performance of all Lagos State players who won medals for the country. And all these players will be coming out again at this tournament, and I'm sure you'll get the best out of Lagos from all of them.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's all about catching them young. I mean, that's the beauty of this sort of competition. There's no way you won't target the cadet and junior category, because the big guys will say, let's leave it for the guys back home to see what they can do.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a big umbrella. And, you know, it's a shame COVID will not allow the competition to be in all of the different categories. It's just going to have 9 categories this time out. And just like the organizers said, hopefully by this time next year, when we're having the next edition, COVID-19 will be behind us and we'll be able to have every other thing. And, you know, you reeled out a lot of names that have, you know, become stars because of this tournament. And that's what we want to continue to see. We want the conveyor belt to keep turning, producing producing stars so that, you know, we can continue to be in the spotlight for the good reasons, talking table tennis. All right, let's just move on the show. And, of course, it's time to talk about the main actors, the players. They've been, you know, sharing their thoughts with us, talking about what to expect, what would happen, what they intend to do in this competition. Let's listen to a cross-section of some of the players. We'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.
Yeah, since last year, after the Asoju last year tournament, I've been training harder to see that I can play more and win this 53rd annual Asoju event. It's been a great tournament to me because it's one of the best tournaments in Nigeria.
It's a good competition because if you play Asoju in Lagos State, we'll be well prepared for national competition. So I'm very grateful for hosting this competition. I'm very happy. And it's because when we want to play Asoju, I always be prepared. I always train hard. That's why I always collect the competition. I always win the competition. So that's it.
All right, that's it. The players telling us what to expect. You know, exciting times ahead, Austin, and hopefully when the games begin by December 1, we'll see the best of table tennis.
You listen to Boxe Odusanya, she seems to be dominating because she gets ready for it, she looks forward to it, you know. And I mentioned a big names some have even stopped playing table tennis, but they have Asoju experience right there in their name. I mentioned Rashida Ogundele and her sister Esther Uriba Miche. What a number! You see youths coming from different parts of the country to Lagos. Cross River can do the same. Bauchi can do the same. Kaduna can do the same. And when this happens, when it goes round, then we can count our blessings, you hear me?
Yeah, hopefully that will be the case. All right, there's still a lot to talk about, but let me just get Bolu's thoughts as well. You've seen the players. Everything is ready. December 1, we're going to start seeing the best, although it's just going to be nine categories, but I still expect that it's going to throw up some new names.
Well, hopefully that's what we expect. We always want to see new stars, new rising stars. We want to win the Olympic gold medal in basketball. And it starts from the scratch. So I like that despite the COVID restriction and everything, you could listen to the organizer say point blank, we are still avoiding COVID. Hopefully next year will be different. The fanfare, the regular noise, fan base, everything won't be there. But they still want to go ahead with this competition because if they miss this year, some athletes may probably have missed a part of their life that could be changing for them. So I think they themselves are ready. They want to give their best. Okay, Asoju backup is here. This could be the best chance for me to hit my mark in table tennis. Hopefully we get to see new faces. It's always interesting where every year or at least you get to see one new person. Oh, this is who we want to look out for, and hopefully the next 2-3 years the person grows to become one of the best in the country and maybe in the world. So I think this year's all the events have been affected by COVID. One way or the other have had more attention because people that maybe focus more on the fan base, whatever, now get to focus on the game. And now that the categories are even less, we could have better chance to focus on the 9 categories and who we are picking up. So I can't wait for the event to start. December 1 is very far, and December 1 is very, very close. In about a week, we'll be experiencing the competition, go, and we'll definitely enjoy the games. And even if you can't get to watch them live, you'll definitely see snippets all over the place on social media.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's leave table tennis and move on. Let me, before we go on a break, let me pass the baton to Austin. It's time to talk about basketball. We're going to spend a lot of time talking basketball. But we'll start with the guys, the African qualifiers for the Fiba Basketball World Cup.
That's right. So we struggled to talk about it the other night on the show. So hopefully we won't struggle tonight. Let's just take a look at Friday's fixture for the African qualifiers, talking about the FIBA Men's Basketball World Cup. Tomorrow, action, Nigeria will take on Cape Verde. Cape Verde, they seem to be walking side by side with Nigeria now, playing the Super Eagles in football, and now they take on the D Tigers in basketball. But you know what? I'll just keep a pause on this qualifiers. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, I struggled to talk about the D Tigers the last time. This time, I'll push you to Bolu, so don't go anywhere. Stay. Welcome back. It's Sports Tonight on your award-winning sports-loving channels television. We're talking about the Fiba Men's World Cup qualifiers, the African qualifiers, and I will go back to the Friday's fixture. I told you Cape Verde will take on Nigeria, Guinea will take on Central African Republic, Cote d'Ivoire will play African giants, Angola. Mali will take on Uganda. So I was saying Austin just called Angola African giants. That's because Nigeria, that is supposed to be the giants of basketball in Africa, leadership has been dealing with the country. And so it's very difficult to have a direction at the moment because everything, guys, everything rises and falls on leadership. So, Bolu, 2 nights ago, we tried to talk about this when they released the roster for the D Tigers, and I struggled. Yemi, to an extent, also struggled. Bolu, with what you saw at the Afro-Basket, the last Afro-Basket, and the leadership brouhaha going on with the MBBF, what's your confidence level for the D Tigers?
Well, not just the Tigers, the Tigers, anything basketball in Nigeria. It is hard to pick out one good news. Despite the ladies winning the Afro-Basket, when you go around, it still comes back to leadership. Luckily or fortunately, the athletes they've escaped the ban from FIBA, moved the election. I think the problem now is looking even beyond ordinary. And no matter how much you think about it, it will affect the players. I saw a report that says the sport ministry announced that they are the ones in charge of the basketball, not Musa Kida or whoever is in charge of any ad hoc or committee of education. Then what happens when it's time to pay the athletes? Hope it won't be, oh, no, we are just overseeing. We are not paid. So these are the questions we need to start asking, because the players will also keep asking. Yes, Diogo is back in the squad, and despite him being back, there are also controversies of the home-based players in the squad. The Rivers Hoopers won the Super 8. One of their players is there, not even the MVP of the tournament. Then 3 players from Gombe Bulls is in the squad. Then they started asking questions, why not the winning team? So even before the event starts, there are already questions, there are already controversies, there are already off-the-court discussions. And no matter how professional these guys are, no matter how much you think they are not thinking about it, the truth is they are also thinking. They read social media as well. They read news. I hope all this will be put aside. Everyone is concluding that Cape Verde, Falconers beat Cape Verde, Super Eagles beat Cape Verde. It's not the same thing in basketball, because at the last Afro-Basket, Cape Verde topped their group, the same group they had, I think, Angola and Uganda. So they are not a walkover. Yes, they are our first game. On paper, we have better players. On paper, we are supposed to defeat them. But the difference is they are not having some unnecessary off-the-field problems. And I hope that will not affect them. We want to qualify for the World Cup. And this time around, it's not an easy process. It's a long, long process. Finishing third can still take you to the final round. But what happens if you don't do well in the next round? That's my fear. When we qualify for the FIBA Basket World Cup, maybe we will have sorted our federation's problem by then, but it takes now. If we don't sort it out now, we may have problems. I hope this does not affect all the players when they take on Cape Verde and every other member of the squad.
We hope so. Experienced players, such as former captain Ike Diogo is back in the team. Yemi, there's also Ben Uzo and Irogbe. And Yemi, that is also causing some conversations in the best basketball circle. But let's take a look at the D Tigers group. And I still struggle to talk about basketball in Nigeria. So I'm going to leave it to you guys, because we all saw what happened at the Afro-Basket. Nigeria couldn't make it to the quarterfinals.
You know, and before that tournament, you would say it's unthinkable, it can't happen. But it happened. And that would send chills down your spine, especially now with all the things going on with administration of the game in Nigeria. So you look at Group A, Cape Verde, Mali, Uganda, and Nigeria on paper, easy peasy. It should be a smooth ride all through.
We did beat Uganda, Yemi, in the last Afro-Basket.
That's what I'm telling you. If you could be forgiven, if the last Afro-Basket didn't happen, you could be forgiven if you are overconfident. But because of what has happened, and a lot of people will tell you, we didn't lose because the players, we lost because usually we find a way to shoot ourselves in the foot, and we have all of these unnecessary problems. In terms of the quality of the pool of players that we've been able to invite, there shouldn't be any question as to whether we should be able to advance. But all of these issues of the courts have their way of creeping in And before you know it, we've seen good sides have issues. It happened many times in football, bonus issues. Players who are top-class players just get to the field, and before you know it, something else happens. But like Bolu said, you can only be hopeful. You know, you can just only be hopeful. And we'll get through this one way or the other. And before we get to the latter stages, hopefully we'll have sorted ourselves and be able to, you know, pick the slots. But with regards to player choices, I'm always trying to stay away from all of those because there's really no squad that will please everybody. So I'm more concerned about all of those other issues outside of the courts. But if you invite this, someone else is going to say, why did you invite that guy? Why did you invite this guy? You know? But at the end of the day, like you always say, Holstein, if they get to the court and they start winning, everybody forgets who is this guy. I mean, I don't care who you are as long as we're winning. Nigeria is winning. I don't care. I don't care if you bring 11 players from Rivers Hoopers or whatever team. I don't care as long as we're winning. You know. But it's when you don't win that those questions come up.
That's what it is, you know. Victory makes us just move on. But I understand why you're sitting where you're sitting. So let's push it to our analyst, who is Bolu. Bolu, Ike Diogu was left out of the Olympics team. He's back. Benuzo is back. Rodbu is back. Sincere with me. Does it excite you? Is this distraction? Is it us trying to struggle to get a consistent team?
Well, I think it was on Channel Sports tonight as well when Ikejugo was called and he was talking about how disappointed he was missing out at the last Olympics. That he could have offered one or two things in terms of leadership. Then when the AfroBasket team also came out, his name was also missing that. At least he's not in the NBA, lots of criticism. And now he's back. I hope everything he said was missing. He's bringing him back because he really wants to be back into this squad. He doesn't feel he's meant to be out. He doesn't feel retired. He still thinks and believes he has what it takes. And interestingly, some of his pals also here, Muzo is there and Miru. So I hope all these guys will gel together because putting it in context, we couldn't make the quarterfinals at the AfroBasket because we lost to Uganda. Keva defeated Uganda at the last AfroBasket, and Keba lost to the eventual winner. So it is not an easy ride that you can easily say we'll walk past this guy. Maybe before now you could easily beat your chest. We should walk past them, but what we've been through on the court makes it even more difficult. Yes, the last time we did more like a world tour, picking players from everywhere. Now we picked some of the guys we think are the best. So I believe we should do now, but that first game is very, very vital because Cape Verde by form are the best team in that group. The only team that look like the weakest link is Mali because we beat them well at the last AfroBasket. On paper, based on the last event, they had Cape Verde are the best team. Then we are playing them first. So the performance against Cape Verde may find ways to define how our outcome will be in the tournament. Again, like I said, out of the four of us, 3 would qualify for the next phase. But you don't bank on losing one game and trying to win others. It's always good to start your competition very well. At least make a statement. Let everybody think, oh, we should be scared of these guys. Don't lose terribly in the first match and start thinking of how many points I need to win in the next game. No. So let's see what happens in that first game against Cape Verde. From there, we'll know if there's hope or we should be worried.
Okay. I like it. That's a cliffhanger. We should know if there's hope or we should be worried. Let's move on the show. Antigua Nigeria Professional Football League. We were supposed to start yesterday, but this shift of date. December 17 is the new date. Of course, a lot of people have been worried about the league and everything, but now the League Management Company has told everybody that December 17 is when the league would start. And so a lot of interesting fixtures on match day 1. Let me pause a little and maybe just quickly ask Bolu, December 17, I know you're not a club owner, but how viable is it for us to start? Because it sure looks like there's still so many issues that doesn't inspire confidence when you begin to look at those issues one after the other and like, can we really start?
First of November 21st, secondly, December the 5th. They said everything is tentative. Now, we only know fixture of match day 1. How they will rumble or ruffle the rest, they don't know. But me is, they are starting December 17th. That's like a week to Christmas, and they came to tell us there would be no Christmas holiday, there will be no New Year holiday. But I said to myself, what happens when the Muslim holidays come around? Would you do the same thing because there's still the issue of the mid-season break, all this regular holiday. 2021-22 season, just call it 2022. Oh, the match day.
Just run through the fixtures.
Gombe United and Shooting Stars suiting. Accra United will welcome Kano Pillars, and Lobby Stars will be at home to Rivers United. Katina will be the host against Rangers International. Then Eyimba and Abia Warriors. There's no better way to start the opening match than to have a local derby. And if there's a derby very, very big in Nigeria, it's definitely the Aba derby. So that would definitely be an interesting opening match. And in Akure, it will be Sunshine Stars versus Wiki Torres. Niger Tornado will be at home to Plateau United. You can call that the Northern Derby as well. The Kwara United and Dakada. And in Lagos here, MFM and Remo Stars.
Southwest Derby.
Yeah, that will also be a game to look out for with the Remo Stars are the Van Dresa of MPFL. Social media is there for them. They are buzzing. They are one of the few teams in Nigeria that use the tracker for players. So it should also be an interesting game. But my worry is all the off-the-field distraction. I mean, if I can advise them, just play a abridged version, what the women are doing. I'm not seeing the reality in starting the league in December and ending in June. Except they have to be playing midweek every time. Then what happens to the team on the continent? That means by the time they will finish their group stages, they will be have maybe
like
6-7 games
backlog.
outstanding. So I would advise them, if I can, just play a abridged version, the northern region and the southern region. Find a way, then maybe play Super 8s at the end of the season. That way everyone can have better rest, reduce traveling stress. Because I will play Sunday, playing on Wednesday. How do you even train? You play a game on Sunday, you travel maybe from Lagos to the north on Monday. You get there Monday night or Tuesday morning. How do you train for your game on Wednesday? Then you pick yourself back again. I think they need to look at the logistics. Yeah. Fortunately, they said they want to resuscitate the MPFL TV and find maybe partnership with other broadcasting. I hope they sort it out. At least let's get to watch. I remember back in the days where you watch your games on TV, even the highlight shows alone, it feels like, oh, wow. There are many leagues that are not interesting. But when you watch the highlight show, you'll be like, oh, these guys are doing a good job. I saw recently, a few days ago, that Ivory Coast signed $1 million deal with a broadcasting company sponsor for their league. Ivory Coast, that started their league yesterday. No disrespect to them. But MPFL, we are still struggling with sponsors. I think we need to do better, much better.
All right. We need to do better. You know, I don't want to sound like a pessimist. There are a lot of questions I could ask, but we have to move on. We have to move on. And as the days go by, we begin to see issues about facilities, issues about salaries, whether or not those backlogs have been cleared, whether or not the stadium facilities are in tip-top shape. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on, but I'll let it slide. Let's move on. Also, let's come to your backyard and talk about what's in the news. Manchester United surprising us with the way they've been going about their plan. They have a caretaker manager. They are going for an interim manager before they get a substantive manager. Oh, what a funny way to go about it. But tell us about the man everybody is talking about now, who is likely, man who is currently with Spartak Moscow, but who is likely going to be at the helm in a few days' time.
Rangnick has been the guy that everyone has been talking about. It's likely to become the interim manager of Manchester United. He's the coach of Lokomotiv Moscow. And I mean, a lot of people, particularly Manchester United fans, they are pissed at this decision, you know. But what can they do? This is a clear testament that all is not well at Old Trafford. You know, it goes beyond Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now it's so clear what's going on with the board, what's going on behind the scenes, the back room. You could tell because some fans are saying, why not just leave Michael Carrick? If he's already bad and it's bad, they feel this guy, Rangnick, cannot take Manchester United to the place they want the club to be this season, you know. But it's football where anything can happen. It's rather unfortunate that the likes of Brendan Rodgers and Mauricio Pochettino have ruled themselves out of the job. This guy, I think, is pretty decent, and there's just something about getting a big job. Hopefully, he's going to come around and have a better record than either David Moyes or Louis van Gaal. Because at this point, I mean, look, everybody is upset at Manchester United. I'm sure even the Glazers family, Ed Woodward, they just want who can come in and, you know, get some stability. But what do I know? It's football where anything can happen. Let's listen to Mauricio Pochettino and Brendan Rodgers. And then we'll come back. I'm going to get the views of Bolu, Is Rangnick the guy that can take Manchester United to a place of safety this season? Let's listen to these coaches and be right back.
I don't actually take it as anything, Paul. Like I said in the last interview, for me it's not real. So there's always gossip and speculation, and I suppose that will always be there until Manchester United appoint a full-time manager. But for me, I've always said my commitment's to here. You know, my commitments for this group of players, this team. You know, we've created an environment and a culture here which is about that continuous development of the team and the players, and that's where I see it. And even more so in this period where our results are a little bit inconsistent. So it doesn't come across my mind, to be honest. But I respect you guys have work to do and stories to say and create a narrative, but for me it doesn't include me.
The player know very well our situation. We know their situation. I think we are living in a business that rumors are there, sometimes negative, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. I think that is not a thing to talk.
So yeah, that's it. More reaction coming, you know, as regards Manchester United, and there are many problems. So Lokomotiv Moscow manager Ralf Rangnick is so close to finalizing a deal towards becoming Manchester United's interim manager. Bolu, are you part of those Manchester United fans who believe that this guy doesn't have the sort of name that they need to stabilize what's going on at Manchester United?
Last job as a manager was in 2019 with Leipzig. But we saw what he did with that club. What he does for Lokomotiv Moscow now is more like what the English call a sporting director. And he just signed for them in July, 3 years deal. I think that's why he's waiting for them to believe, okay, speak with them, sort it out. And there's a condition, according to Fabrizio, that after now, when the internship or interimship is gone, I have to probably stay back and be involved in one or two things. But he is more like the Marcelo Bielsa of German football. He was one of those that groomed them, the likes of Thomas Tuchel and Jurgen Klopp. They respect him, they revere him a lot. But the question is, does Man United have the players who can prosecute the Schengen pressing? They have young boys, Pacey and Rashford, Martial, Mason Greenwood, Jadon Sancho. Those guys are young and pacey. But will they be able to prosecute what this guy had very well? That's a big question. It becomes, I think United have a good man at hand. I think he can do the job, but he will keep telling you running is not just about your ability. It starts from the mind. That means the first thing he needs to work with in the Man United dressing room is the mind of the players. Everybody has to think about running, think about winning, think about getting the goals. I think first thing for United fans is they should know they are not where they used to be anymore. Until they understand that, they will keep everybody. Fergie has taken them beyond the peak. Now they are probably dropping and they have to rise steadily. But some of them still believe, yeah, we are at the peak, we are still competing with the Madrids, the Bayern. No, you are not. So you have to understand that first off. Or else they'll just keep thinking they are the best. But again, I think Ralf Rangnick should do a good job. Let's see if they finally confirm that agreement between
All right, we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be interesting to see the kind of job Rangnick will do if he gets to be employed. Let's quickly go to the Europa League. We said earlier that matches currently going on. While we were on that break, Wilfred Ndidi got on the goal on the score sheet for Leicester. Preston Daka already scored earlier for them. So let's just give you some selected fixtures. Some matches have already been concluded and some currently going on. Olympiacos and Fenerbahce, that's what you have on your screen. Galatasaray and Marseille. Galatasaray won that game. Lokomotiv Moscow lost to Lazio by 3 goals. Leverkusen fought back and defeated Celtic despite the heroics of Joe Hart. Celtic are out of the competition. Real Betis defeated Ferencváros by 2 goals. Then Dinamo Zagreb and Genk was played a 1-1 draw. These are the games that have been concluded. The ones you have on your screen, Rapid Vienna and West Ham. West Ham doing so well in Europe. Let me run through this and allow you, maybe that's going to be our parting shot. Leicester leading 3-1 against Legia Warsaw. Rangers have scored. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's first game in charge. Sparta Prague, they 1 goal up. Brøndby trailing Lyon. Okay, it's goalless actually. Then PSV Eindhoven and Stormgrass. It's also goalless. But look quickly, some stories behind the scenes as we prepare to...
Well, now, I think I'm getting more worried for Kelechi Iheanacho. It feels like Demola Lookman has taken his place and is doing well for the club.
Even the other guy, Daka.
Daka also. I don't know where that boy gets his goals from. Anytime he gets to play, he gets in the goals for them. And Leon Balogun is not in the game. This is suspension. Aribo is playing for Rangers. Good, let's say partial time being in Nigeria. And the goal scorer for Genk is also in Nigeria, though not part of the Super Eagles team. But for West Ham, you just have to respect the way those guys play, from the manager to everyone in the squad. They are giving more than their best for the club to get there. Thinking West Ham don't play European football, you believe they are probably a traditional team with the way they've taken everyone in that group apart. And the Leicester group is probably the most open group right now. Yes, Leicester leading, but they are 8 points if they end up winning this game. And second and third have 7 points, and the last in that group has 8. If one thing is certain in that group, the battle will go until the final day, and that's the beauty of football. It's not every time a game to spare every time, no. Sometimes let's watch the battle until the final day.
All right, so sometimes let's watch the battle until the final day. All right, we're pressed for time. We're about to wrap things up, but first let's hear Austin say a thing or two about the Europa, then we'll wrap things up on the show. Any surprises for you?
No surprises, actually, particularly with the English teams. What a story, West Ham and their phenomenal run in the Europa League, going away to beat Rapid Vienna 2-0. And then for Leicester City, it can only get better with Wilfred Ndidi scoring that third goal, you know, to put them 3-1 up in that encounter going on. So these are good times. These are good times, particularly for teams in the English Premier League, and some of them that has Nigerian players. So we'll just continue to support them, and we'll continue to monitor the competition.
All right, that's a good place to leave it tonight. First, I want to thank Bolu Omoni for his time on the show tonight. Bolu, thanks for finding out time to be with us on the show.
It's always a pleasure being around.
All right, that's the show today. We do hope that you've enjoyed everything we've been able to bring to you. There's still one more edition left for the week. That's going to be tomorrow. We'll take you on a trip across the money-spinning, fast-paced, exciting world of sports. From the city of Lagos, right here in Nigeria, I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.
Always a delight to have you join us to talk sports. Let's do this again tomorrow. In London, I'm Austin Okonakwan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.